the turn of the century, and IBM announces its 5th straight year of record revenue, with annual net earnings reaching an astounding $7.7 billion. Coca-Cola, already the world's leading supplier of soft drinks, reports a 2-year increase in product sales of 15%, with an incredible 15.8 billion cases of products sold last year. Microsoft discloses total company earnings of $19.8 billion during the previous fiscal year, with a whopping $7.8 billion in profits.
For those with the foresight to invest in these companies and others, the returns have been tremendous. An investment of $1,000 in Coca-Cola just 10 years ago would net you nearly $14,000 today.
Wow.
If you didn't want to wait 10 years, you should have considered stocking Yahoo. $1,000 just 4 years ago would bring you over $10,000 now.
$10,000, huh? Well, what if that's not enough?
Well, then how about MCI WorldCom? $1,000 a decade ago would result in well over $60,000 today. Or you could earn the same $60,000 by investing $1,000 in AOL just 8 years ago. Even a short 3-year investment in Amazon.com would turn $1,000 into an astonishing $31,000.
Wow, a 3,000% return in just 3 years.
Hard to believe.
The fact is that every one of these companies, and dozens more like them, created millionaires. The future millionaires were not just people who saw an opportunity. After all, the opportunity was there for everyone.
Sure.
For every millionaire created, there were thousands, hundreds of thousands who saw the opportunity but didn't take advantage. So, what was the difference? More than recognizing the opportunity, these future millionaires all felt an overwhelming sense of urgency to act.
That's right. You see, it's not just the opportunity, it's the sense of urgency.
That's right.
And you know what? You can discover this sense of urgency through a little exercise of imagination. Now, suppose you had access to a time machine.
A time machine.
You could go back to Atlanta, Georgia in the year 1919 for the initial public offering of a modest company known as Coca-Cola. Those first shares of stock sold for just $40 each. If you were lucky enough to make that leap back in time, which of you would not sell everything you have in order to snatch up as much stock as possible? Just one of those original shares, assuming that all dividends were reinvested, was worth about $6.7 million at the end of 1998.
6.7 million? One original share? Now, be honest. If you could go back in time, you would beg, borrow, or steal every cent you could get your hands on and buy Coca-Cola stock.
Sure would.
Why? Because you would feel that incredible sense of urgency. Now, imagine the situation. The deeper, the more realistic your imagination, the better you'll be able to understand this urgent need to act.
Now, of course, this sense of urgency comes from your sure knowledge of history. You would know the future, and so of course you'd be compelled to act. It's like the alumnus who meets up with a rich and famous classmate at a 20-year reunion. Oh, I would have loved that person if I would have known. From historical perspective, hindsight would endow any time traveler with this sense of urgency, this need to act.
But of course, the real trick is to feel the urgency about the future. Now, how many times have you said to yourself, oh, I would have done things differently if I only knew then what I know now?
All the time.
Yeah, well, the problem is you didn't do things differently. Why? What separates those who take action from those who don't? Simply this, the ability to see future value and sense an opportunity.
That's exactly it. You know, success, when it comes right down to it, is the ability to part the curtain, glimpse the future, feel the sense of urgency, and then to act. You know those millionaires we mentioned, the ones who invested in Coca-Cola in 1919? That's how they became successful.
To illustrate this, hop back into your time machine and go back to July 1st, 1996. Now, a brand new company is born, a company called Moringa. They researched, developed, processed, bottled, and made available the juice of an obscure fruit from French Polynesia, Tahitian Noni juice. Your research shows very little information on this product. It's virtually unknown.
But hey, because you're a time traveler, you would carry back with you 4 years of historic knowledge. You'd already know that Moringa would grow from 0 distributors to over 400,000. You would know that gross sales would begin at nothing, then skyrocket to an astounding $30 million a month.
$30 million?
Yeah, you would know that in 1999 alone, Morinda would pay out over $150 million in distributor commissions.
Incredible.
And you would know that within 4 short years, Morinda would expand to become a true global presence, doing business in over 24 countries worldwide. So, if you knew then what you know now, wouldn't you have had a more keen sense of urgency?
Absolutely, you would. Now, let's come back to the present. Here's what we know. Every year, several million new products are introduced to the market. Of that group, only 20% ever last for even 1 year. Of those products that stay on the shelves for more than a year, only 0.1%, the smallest fraction imaginable, will ever account for $100 million in lifetime sales. So, for a product to reach the highest levels of success, it would mean it would have to reach $100 million in sales over the course of its lifetime. And the chances of that are extremely slim.
And yet, over the course of its first 4 years in business, Morinda, with its premier product, Tahitian Noni Juice, surpassed $400 million. Now that's just one indicator of Morinda's success. We also know that Morinda places in the top 1% in network marketing volume, in the top 1% in returns to distributors, and independent surveys show that Tahitian Noni Juice scores an astonishing 60% when it comes to brand recognition.
So, how does this knowledge of 4 years of Morinda history help you in your vision of the future? Early investors in Coca-Cola, Yahoo, IBM, and Microsoft had no track record to base their decision on. They only had vision. You, on the other hand, are blessed with a sound understanding of Morinda based on 4 years of incredible history.
So now to the future. You make the 10-year trip at light speed, and as you emerge from the machine, you notice some interesting things.
Like what?
Stepping out onto the sidewalk, you're almost run over by a young man on rollerblades. And as he speeds by, you notice the Tahitian Noni logo boldly emblazoned on the back of his T-shirt. A large billboard just across the street features a large Tahitian Noni trademark and news of Morinda's latest, greatest product, a super juice joint venture with a well-known global beverage brand.
Arriving home, you click on the evening news.
Noni juice.
A human interest story discusses the dietary importance of noni and reports that Tahitian Noni Juice, the market leader and original, is taking the world by storm and enjoying popularity and acceptance all over the world. The report also includes the news of several new markets that Morinda has just opened and the global latest Morinda ad campaign, and offers lucky consumers a chance to win popular Tahitian Noni merchandise or a grand prize luxury trip to Tahiti.
Sounds good. You scratch your head and wonder, could it be? The truth then dawns on you. Tahitian Noni Juice has not only become a world business giant, it has also become an integral part of world culture. It is used by every family, every individual. It has worldwide brand name recognition that rivals the most common household brands. It has held on to its 95% market share of all the world's Noni products.
Wait, 95%?
Yes, 95% market share. In fact, while the benefits of the Noni fruit are as well known as those of aloe vera or vitamin C, Morinda holds such a dominant position that when the word Noni is mentioned, 9 out of every 10 people worldwide immediately think of Tahitian Noni Juice.
9 out of 10? That's almost unbelievable. Now, in this future world, you see people who were a part of the unfolding opportunity Morinda presented, and you see firsthand the rewards they earned. You meet other people as well, and you ask them if they aligned themselves with Morinda in the early days. I should have, I would have, I could have. Well, like with IBM and AOL in our day, too many of these people are now kicking themselves for not having the foresight to get involved earlier.
You become so overwhelmed that your senses are alive with urgency. The urgency to go back to the present, today, to realign your thinking and redirect your actions, to take advantage of what you just experienced. You would have that unmistakable sense of opportunity.
Well, there is no time machine, but you have something almost as good. History teaches us about the past. Vision enables us to glimpse into the future. We stand at the threshold of a brilliant future, the unfolding of an opportunity that will be truly historic.
Can you feel the sense of urgency? I didn't invest in Microsoft in 1986, and chances are you didn't either. Yet Microsoft became successful anyway. The fact is that Morinda will continue its incredible destiny with or without us. We can get on board, or we can be another one of those who say, I should have, I would have, I could have. It all depends on how deeply you feel the sense of urgency.
That sense of urgency. Morinda is making millionaires today. You can be one of them. You found the opportunity. Now feel the urgency and act on it.